Folks, Pat Curley. I'm your teacher for the rest of this course. It's great to have you here. Sincerely, I mean that. It is good. It's fantastic. It's a cool thing for me. Hopefully it'll be a cool thing for you too. This first lesson we're going to do a couple of things. We're going to get stuck into it in a minute, but first I'm just going to explain to you a little bit about the format of your lessons and how they work. All your lessons will look pretty much similar to this page you've got here now. The first video will be the crux of the lesson. It's where I show you the main material, the main stuff that I'm focusing on in that lesson. The second video we look at some musicianship skills, primarily training your ear. And the third video will be about learning a tune that's related to what we've done in the lesson. This course is aimed at teaching you all about the blues as much as I possibly can. I'm sure there's people out there that know more about the history and a lot of the tunes and a lot of the artists and stuff than I do. But you may not improvise so much, and that's what this course is about. It's about improvising. So right from the start, we're going to be looking at sort of skills that you need to get that blues jamming, improvising stuff down. Yeah. So for this first lesson, we're looking at the 12-bar blues, and I'm sure you already know how to play the 12-bar blues. You would have seen videos on it all over the place. We're going to have a closer look at it and examine the changes and maybe use some new terminology too. So let's get started, eh? Okay, now 12-bar blues. I'm assuming that everyone has had some exposure to that 12-bar blues sequence. That's not what this lesson's about. If you haven't, there's enough in the notes, hopefully, for you to figure it out. And I'm going to, right now, run through the chart for the first of the most basic 12-bar blues that we're looking at in this lesson. Now, the first one there is an early one, but it's also a very simple one. And it best, I think, illustrates the main concepts I want to get out of today's lesson. So I'm going to just run through it to start with, and you can follow it all along if you so choose. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, 12 bars. 12 times I tap my... 1 bar is 4 taps of the foot. 12 bars, 48 taps of the foot. And we change chords throughout that sequence. That's the structure of the tune. Right? We have 12 bars that we play in a certain sequence, and then we repeat that sequence. Now, the beauty of that structure and what we want to focus this lesson on today is how it creates tension for the listener and then resolves it. That's what music's about. It's about creating tension and resolving it. That's how you get an emotional response in your music. So the way that the 12-bar blues does that is by establishing in the first 4 bars a comfortable place. Right? Your first 4 bars gives you the tonic chord, the one, the chord that the key is based around. All the notes are based around this chord. And it also states the main lyric of the verse. Then we go, create a little bit of tension. We repeat the lyric and resolve it back to there again. I've got a tuning problem here. That 5's a bit flat, sharp, isn't it? Sorry about this, folks. That's better. Create a little bit of tension. We come back to there. Then we create a bit more tension. And we come back to there. Okay. the various other permutations, combinations of chords that you see in different versions of the 12 bar, do that again in different ways. Okay? It's about creating tension, resolving it. Now, music's always been like that, even from the early days when it was very simple. But they didn't talk about chord changes back then because they didn't have chords. But they would still want to resolve their melodies. Yeah? And they did that by using what they called cadences. Now, a cadence is just a way to finish a melody in a way that makes sense, resolve it, allow it to create tension and resolve, come back to a comfortable place where it's resolved. Now, there were a number of different ways of doing that, and the ones that we're most concerned about are the cadences that we call the plagal cadence, where a melody that's based around this sort of tonal space here ends there. Amen. The Amen cadence, it's sometimes called. And the perfect cadence, which makes more sense to us perhaps, back to the 1 from the 5 to the 1, that needs to go there. You can hear that quite clearly. But we're not talking about chords now, we're talking about making melodies that do that. Okay, so let's have a look at those. Throughout this course, we'll be looking at how to construct your own melodies and how that happens. You don't just do it by magic. There are ways that we can figure out how it works. And the way that it works is that I said that this is a tonal center or a space. Right? There are notes that we can play that fit with that tonal space, and we'll look at that later on. For now, I'll just tell you which ones they are for this purpose of this exercise. It's that one on the 5th fret, 5th position on that top string, and the one behind it, the dot behind it, on the 3rd fret. Okay, they work. Over that chord there, right? So if you make a melody that's got those two notes in it, and then complete that melody or finish that melody with that note, the open one, that is the tonic of that chord there, you're going to be playing a plagal cadence. Yeah? It's a very simple plagal cadence, right? There's another one. Okay, let's play a bit of a blues. Don't worry about this bit. Here comes the plagal cadence. Yeah? So I played a melody that's went across the chord change. Yeah? So I want you to pick up your guitar, pause this perhaps, and play your blues, play your 12 bar, go to the 4 chord, and then on your way back to the 1, go via that 3rd fret. Oops, sorry, I missed that. That's a melody. You're playing a sequence of notes that resolve. Okay, now what you need to do is hear in your head before it happens that you're going to go from there to there. So you know that before it even happens. Right? And then you're going to construct a melody that gets you there. Right? You're not just going like that, creating two separate, distinct things. You're going like that. Okay? That's your plagal cadence. Now your perfect cadence, which is later on in the 12 bar, right at the end, goes to there, or to there. Right, the 12th is the same as the 1, it's just an octave away. So an example of notes that you can use to make a perfect cadence is the note on the 7th fret, the 5 note, the note on the 10th fret, and then the note on the 12th fret is the same as the open one, it's the 1. So in the same way that we went 5th fret, 3rd fret, open to resolve to the 1 from the 4 chord, we can go 5th fret, 10th fret, 12th. Okay, so let's have a look at playing the 12 bar blues. melody, it's not really, it's a melody, but it's a way of connecting. It's a very simple way of doing it, right? Just for the purposes of our exercise here. On the 5 chord, you can also play the dot behind it on the 5th fret, and then to there, if you want to make a bit more interesting melody. So something like that. So what do I do there? For the first bar I just played the chord, and then the next bar was no. Okay, da, no, da, da, no, I started there, didn't I? Da, 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 da. So I started on the 5th fret, 7th, 5th, 7th, 10th, 12th, right? That's an example of a melody that resolves, that moves from here to there. Now, in order for me to know that I need to go there, I need to first of all hear it. Okay, when you're making up melodies, you need to be able to use your ear. You need to listen to what's going on around you and know where you want to go. You need to be able to hear something and then play it. Okay, you need to understand where you are on your guitar well enough so that you can create the sound that you want, the pitch that you want. But first thing you need to do is be able to hear it in your head, right? So you need to be able to hear how that wants to go back to there, or that wants to go to there. How that is resolving when it gets to there, right? We've got 2 types of cadences: a plagal cadence that uses the notes for your exercise in the next video. Uses the notes on the 5th, the 3rd, and the open. And then the perfect cadence, which goes from the 5 to the 1 and uses these notes here, right? 5, 7, 10, and 1. So those 2 cadences create tension and resolve it. We're talking in the blues about call and response. Right? Call is like first full bar, setting up home base. The response, I'm going to take it up there and then I'm going to go back to there, and that's my way of responding to you. Yeah? Went down to the crossroad, fell down on my knee. There's your call. Went down to the crossroad, fell down on my knee. Okay, so someone else has heard that, responded to it in a slightly different sort of way, and then brought it back home again. Yeah? Help me if you please. Call and response. There's plenty of information about that, and there's more in your notes. So right from the get-go, right from the start, we're looking at the 12-bar blues sequence in a different way now. Okay? We're looking at, rather than just playing it because we know where it has to go, we're looking at playing it because we can hear where it's going, and we're listening for changes in the melody more than changes in the chords, right? Because we're making melodies, we're improvising. So we want to learn to go from here to there. Later on, we'll find other notes that we can do that with. But for now, it's that movement from there to there, and this movement from here to here. Okay, sweet.